Neden böyle derseniz...
If you say why is it like that, Mr. Ibrahim Altan is General Manager of Turkish Red Cross and Ms. Ebru Coach Holder.
Sürdürülebilirlik Koordinatörlüğü. Paylaşımlarda birazcık ülke...
Now we are going to the private sector and we are going to consider the general needs and so this will be a new platform. These will be the points we are going to speak about after the 6th of February. Young people, old people, disabled, migrants have become a problem, so we need a roadmap and a well-being map. We have lived a big disaster in our social frame. We had to change our rituals and our experiences because of this earthquake, but we had the opportunity to live the experience of a very important event. So the NGOs should also be stakeholders with the municipalities, private sector, the dialogue between private sector and municipalities should be developed, and all these things will give us a possibility to react quicker to a potential earthquake. And of course that the social well-being should be considered before an earthquake. Now I would like to give all of you 3 minutes and there will be 2 rounds. You have a lot of experiences and if you start with a roadmap today, what will the most important points be?
25 dakika mı ne kadar fazla?
We waited for more than 25 minutes and now you say 3 minutes. We have a video of 3 minutes and then I'm going to stop.
Tarih 6 Şubat 2023, saat 4:17. 11 ilimiz, yüzyılın en büyük doğal afetlerinden biriyle sarsıldı. Aynı gün içinde 7.7 ve 7.6 şiddetindeki 2 depremle ortaya çıkan asrın felaketinde Kahramanmaraş, Hatay, Adıyaman, Gaziantep, Malatya, Şanlıurfa, Adana, Osmaniye, Diyarbakır, Kilis ve Elazığ hasar aldı. 13,5 milyon insanımız bu büyük afetten etkilendi. Kışın en soğuk günleri yaşanırken 400 kilometreye yakın kırılan fay hattından etkilenen kentlerde, kasabalarda, köylerde milyonlarca insanımız kendilerine uzanacak eli bekliyordu. Depremin haberini alır almaz soğuk kar yağmur demeden yollara düştük. Yaşla dolan gözlerde bir umut, kırılan kalplerde bir teselli olma arzusuyla bölgeye akın ettik. Enkazların başında nefesimizi tuttuk, bir ses, bir nefes, bir ışık bekledik. Hayata tutunan her canla canımıza can kattık. Karlı dağları yürüyerek aştık. Kah bir kase çorba, kah sıcak bir battaniye olduk. Bazen anne olduk, bazen baba. Kimi zaman gözyaşı sildik, kimi zaman biz de ağladık. Binlerce insanımızla can bağı, kan bağı kurduk. Kaybettiğimiz canlarımızı kalplerimize gömdük. Yaralı kalplere ilaç, sofralarda aş olmaya çalışırken 85 milyonun desteğini yanımızda götürdük. Canınız canımız, kanımız kanınızdır diyen 421 bin kan bağışçımız depremde yaralanan kardeşlerine candan desteklerini esirgemedi. Dünyanın dört bir yanından gelen yardımları karadan, havadan ve denizden deprem bölgesindeki ihtiyaç sahiplerine ulaştırdık. Bizler 155 yıllık zor zaman dayanışmalarının bugünkü neferleriyiz. Gücümüzü 93 Harbi'nde, Balkan Savaşları'nda, Çanakkale'de, Kurtuluş Savaşı'nda, 99 depreminde ve daha nice afette yazılan binlerce kardeşlik ve yardımlaşma hikayesinden alıyoruz. Bundan sonra da birlikte daha fazla insana umut olacak, yardıma ihtiyaç duyanlara el uzatmaya devam edeceğiz. Ülkenin dört bir yanından gelen siz gözü pek kahramanlarımızın çabalarıyla daha büyüğüz, daha güçlüyüz. İyi ki varsınız. İyi ki buradasınız. Daima Türkiye, daima Kızılay.
Giriş yapabilirsiniz arzu ederseniz. Buyurun lütfen.
Distinguished moderator and participants and friends, you listen to Rüstem Keleş. We both were hit by the 1999 earthquake in 1999, and we also experienced the 2023 earthquake and all the others in between these 2 years. We took part in all of the major earthquakes. I have a few things to say. I'm not going to take the time of the other speakers, but in the second round, I will talk. Hello. It's still difficult to see these after 7 months. I have been part of this from the very first day, but it's still very difficult to look at these. These 2 sessions are actually a summary of everything. We worked hand in hand with AFAD and Turkish Red Crescent. Koç Holding helped us to be on stage. They supported us with their vehicles. Well, this scene is actually a summary of our power, of our strength on the field. Were we able to do many things? Well, it was such a huge thing that whatever we did proved to be insufficient. This was one of the largest scale disasters in the world. I also believe that it's important to think while blaming one another. Lack of coordination was the most important lesson we should have all learned. Anything you do on the field with good intentions, as individuals or as institutions, I'm sure that everybody had good intentions, but many of the actions taken cause chaos on the field. As the mayor of Kahramanmaraş put it very nicely, sometimes you have to solve chaos with another chaos. So, even if you can take an action within a very short period of time, when there is chaos, it takes you much longer than normal. Yet, solidarity, we saw the greatest examples of solidarity on the field. NGOs and individuals acting in solidarity. My NGO, İhtiyaç Haritası, had access to all of the quake-hit zones from the very first day. Our most important strength muscle was the coordination of humanitarian relief received. We tried to make sure that the people in need had access to whatever they needed. İhtiyaç Haritası is actually an application, an app. We used this app to analyze the needs on the field. In Adıyaman and Hatay, in those provinces, we made a significant difference. we were able to identify the needs and meet the needs to a very significant achievement level of 80 to 90%. We had we are one of the founders of the platform of NGOs, which means almost 40 NGOs use their strongest muscles at the right time, at the right place, on the field. This was the most effective example of the support we provided on the field. The most important thing about all the things we did is what we did before, during, and after the disaster. We did all we were able to do in solidarity with one another. About our well-being, there is a very clear statistics. If you say recovery, minimum 2 years, development, minimum 5 to 10 years. So it will take us minimum 2 years to recover and minimum 5 to 10 years to develop, start developing the region. So we have a very, very long journey ahead of us. We have to make sure that these efforts should continue. We should also make sure that people start to lead decent lives again, stand on their feet, help build communities again that could stand on their feet. İhtiyaç haritası has been doing everything and has been giving support to all of the projects planned to help with sustaining life in the quake hit zone. On top of the know-how and experience of Turkish Red Crescent, Esra said social well-being means ensuring that people stand on their feet on their own without the help of others. The strength of solidarity, she put emphasis on that, taking action very fast and taking action and reaching the field very fast. And NGOs take very fast actions to meet those needs and help municipalities. So, based on the experience of Kızılay, Turkish Red Crescent, we saw how ihtiyaç haritası helped. This also helps us with having a digital map of the need. Now, let's hear from a representative from the private sector. Can I get the remote control for my presentation? On behalf of the Koç Group, I'm going to give you information about our experience with respect to establishing temporary settlements in disaster-hit zones. We focused on urgent needs, but after the first week, we started to think about what kind of help we can provide in the midterm. We identified that the most urgent need was providing shelter and temporary settlements, container cities, was what was needed the most in the zone, in the earthquake hit zone. Can you help me with this? Just to show you the scale, 5 different locations, Hatay, Kahramanmaraş, Adıyaman, Malatya, and İskenderun. So these container cities, tent cities, for 5,000 families. AFAD was our greatest support. We did everything in coordination with AFAD. Well, we are a group from the private sector with no experience at all in setting up container cities. So we had discussions with people living in tent cities, container cities, and we also discussed it in length with anthropologists. They guided us in setting up such container cities, those container homes. This is now what we call a model, and we would like to disseminate this. I hope that, and I hope we don't experience a similar disaster once again, but if we do, then we can use this model. Well, please show them all on the screen because this remote control does not work. When we asked the earthquake victims, they said several things. They wanted it to be community focused. So when we set up a container city, they don't want us to build down one next to another, but to build a container city just like a city with squares and with places where people can gather and socialize. Holding on to life is very important. It's very crucial, as the other speakers mentioned. People have to be in solidarity with one another. They have to have a social dialogue. So cities should be designed accordingly. Accessibility is another important aspect of such a settlement. The city should be designed such that it is disabled people friendly. We did not have a ready-made design. We had to do it from scratch. We set up schools, and we worked in collaboration with Tohum Autism Foundation. The third issue was to focus on children and youth. These earthquake victims told us that their first priority was their children. If youth were happy, then they were happy. That's why we set up 5 kindergartens, 8 schools, or schools for technological design. So we set up, devised different areas to address their needs. As Elif mentioned, underscored, women are in charge of taking care of children and elderly people, sick people. For the well-being of a family, it's very important that women are strong. That's why we set up solidarity units for women in collaboration with United Nations, so that women have access to psychosocial support. After these series of first interventions, providing employment is very important. In collaboration with our group company, Yapı Kredi, we set up a call center there to generate employment. When you call the call center of Yapı Kredi, actually the staff from that call center is located in Hatay or İskenderun. You don't know about it. Hatay, İskenderun, and Adıyaman, those are the places where we have our call centers. Through our different group companies, we started to offer occupational training, like working as operators on the field. We offered our internship program for the earthquake victims as well. That's all for the time being, so that I do not exceed my time. I just wanted to show you this slide as the last slide to show you, to give you an idea about the scale of our works. All of our container cities are set up now. We are working with 25 national or local public partners in partnership with governorships or at the district level. So this was a very large scale and comprehensive collaboration. In the second round, I'm going to show you a brief video so that you get a better idea about what we did there. Thank you very much. Thank you. So at this point, we can say that social well-being requires social accessibility, and it starts with children and women. It should be sensitive to meeting the needs of gender equality. And we see that the roadmap evolves taking these into consideration. In the second round, what should we include in this roadmap? Where should be the starting point? So what would you suggest for the future? First of all, we have to learn crisis management and teach crisis management. At times of flood, disaster, fires, crisis management becomes a very problematic area. Individuals and institutions should manage crisis. Families should manage their crises, and institutions should manage their crises. Trainings should be offered to individuals and institutions. So the society should know how to act in case of an emergency or a crisis. In terms of maturity, we experience serious problems. We have the disaster response plan. There are some main stakeholders, and there are also support solution partners. These involve NGOs and public institutions, universities, municipalities. These are all included in this framework. All of these stakeholders should act in a mature way and take on their roles. For example, we are the main solution partner for providing food. We set up the food platform. We developed the accreditation system. We work in collaboration and in coordination with AFAD. AFAD is the main coordinator, the umbrella organization here. We will also include individuals in the accreditation system. Starting with the Elazığ earthquake, we have been piloting this, and it has proven to be successful. In Pazarcık and in the earthquake hit zone, more than 1,000 stakeholders were on the field. We had discussions with them, we kept records of them, and now we know how to work together. What kind of services will be offered by them, the menus they will offer. So we provided them with information. We have a giant source of data available right now. The food platform on a daily basis can cater for 18 million menus a day. So this includes Turkish Red Crescent's own capacity and the capacity of mosques, dormitories, NGOs, companies. We have signed protocols with them, and we will further improve them. So 18 million meals. This was what we planned in theory. So in theory, it was going to be 18 million meals a day. Would it work in practice? We saw in the Pazarcık earthquake that it didn't work. We piloted it, it didn't work, so we decided to take measures. At times of disasters, we should act in a mature fashion. The society should be acting in a very mature fashion. Communication plays a pivotal role here. Communicators should take an active role, and train the society, raise awareness about how to act in a mature way, give support to NGOs. We know that the mind of communicators work in a totally different way. They give very clear and lean messages to achieve this. So this is what we expect as support from communicators. Finally, as I said before, we experienced 1999 and 2023 earthquakes and the earthquakes in between, the earthquakes here in Turkey and abroad. Our job is all about fixing, repairing things, but we cannot act proactively. There are some obstacles before going proactive. In terms of managing the demands of citizens, we're having problems. All of the layers of the society should put aside everything and do their best to convince citizens to prevent people in case of an emergency earthquake. Earthquake could hit Istanbul or other cities, many places, many buildings could collapse. We would experience the very same things we experienced in Pazarcık. We could have another meeting 6 or 7 months after that earthquake. We would still be discussing the very same things, no progress. Therefore, know-how, experience, less or more, that isn't important. We should work hand in hand to ensure that people are hit the minimum. We should put aside any tendencies, any political tendencies, any trends. We should focus on disasters. If we become mature enough in managing crisis, if we learn how to manage a crisis by taking preventive measures, we would then avoid such gigantic costs. 50,000 people lost their lives, 50,000. And there are 50,000 more to die in case of an emergency, in case of a disaster, earthquake in the future. You will all become homeless, the young people in this room, if you do not take those preventive measures, and if you do not give support, put in effort to get the proposal made by the government to be accepted. You, as the youth, will be still speaking the same things. This is not a wise way to do things. This is not an intelligent way to do things. At the end of the day, let's leave aside everything to protect our citizens. Let's work hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, and ensure that cities transform. We have to convince citizens to go for urban transformation. That's all I wanted to say. Nothing else more that I'd like to say at this point. So we heard from Mr. Altan that this requires a large-scale coordination, which includes dialogue, increasing awareness, sound planning, and having preventive measures in place, coordinating them, and develop our capacity to come up with solutions as much as possible. What else would you like to say, Esra? We call things that we don't know about as crisis.
But an earthquake is not an unknown thing for us. It is a thing we sometimes neglect, so we think that we should have a better governance, a governance which gives importance to the future. This is my idea. And as you said before, when we say we, it is very important during an earthquake. It is very important to say we in all sectors, in the public sector, in the private sector. It is very important to be able to say we, not I. This is a very important point for me. Maybe it will be a repetition, but repetition is also a thing which should be done. While constructing our container cities, I liked it very much, as Koch has done. We constructed these by being very careful, because we have to give a place to live to people. And in the next period, what is important, it will be again a repetition, is to distinguish before the disaster, during the disaster, and after the disaster. And each sector should have a plan for all those phases. After the Elazığ earthquake, we worked on a disaster earthquake, we worked with a lot of companies, societies, and we asked them to support us, to be ready. When there is no disaster, there should be a second plan. But as there isn't a plan, when a disaster arrives, phones are ringing. So we have to support some things before they occur. And this will also give us a possibility to find solutions through which we can save our citizens. So we have to be ready. These are things which have to be done to be ready. Governance full of progress, and in the regions where the earthquake has happened, what are we going to do? In our container cities, we considered the needs of the NGOs, and we observed that they need a space to implement their programs. So in Hatay and in Kahramanmaraş, we have two container cities. Instead of container cities, we prefer to say a living space, because we wanted to have a place where people gather, and all the NGOs who wanted to act there, we introduced them in those containers. We have also a lot of places and fields for sports, not only volleyball or basketball. We try to orient young people to sports. That's why we have special projects. And besides of that, we have psychosocial centers in the living space, and this is a project which will last through 2 or 3 years. And besides of that, because of the needs and because of the culture of the region, we also be able to have a place where only women can work. All these things we want to do is to encourage people to maintain their lives. These are all beginnings, but what is important here is sustainability. Sustainability is a very popular word used in different places, but all things I've talked about should be sustainable, and this will make the biggest difference. Because unfortunately, normally when there are disasters, for 2 or 3 weeks, we prepare a system which we give then to the municipalities. But we, as NGOs, are still working. And we try to do our best to find goods and clothes for these people. So we stayed a very long time. And at the end, one of the most important things, of course, are the cooperatives, small and middle companies, because it is the only way to have a development. We are working with a lot of colleagues, and in our team we have a lot of people who are earthquake victims. But I think which I have absolutely to say, our target is to have in the earthquake zone a model, an example. Wastewater management, using the wastewater for agriculture is our target, and it is the container we have built. We have done this with the support of UNDP, and more than 160 companies have supported our container city. And I think we can always come together. We should be together even if we compete, and this should be the basis of our work, and we should make a difference all together. I think time has come for that. And this will bring with it the regional development and the development of provinces. Thank you very much. I would like to remind you a small thing. Miss Ebru showed it to us. Miss Esra spoke about her own models, and we as RESLOG see that the social support centers are the basis of the well-being. This was like that during the migration from Syria, during COVID-19, and Mr. Hassan also said that when we have bigger places to socialize, it is a very good infrastructure, and also the social support centers are very important, as well as support from cooperatives. We should all be inclusive and respect gender equality. And we know that the Turkish Red Crescent has also done a lot, especially after the Syria crisis, after the social resilience. And now we will have a movie from Koç, and one or two sentences to finish. Starting with what I have said, as Koç Group, we have also created container cities. I'm going to show you a movie of 3 minutes. Maybe that before the movie I can tell you that the container cities are now called hope cities. We spoke with a lot of earthquake victims who said everything has been destructed besides hope. That's why we call our containers hope containers, where 20,000 people are living now.
Ses yok galiba ama.
Kütüphaneler, yeşil alanlar, çocuk parkları, sportif alanlar, bilgisayar salonları, amfitiyatrolar, eğitim gelişim atölyeleri ve sosyal kültürel faaliyet alanları Umut Kentlerin ayrıştırıcı unsurlarını oluşturuyor. Umut Kent projesine 21 koç topluluğu şirketi ve farklı uzmanlıklara sahip yüzlerce koçlu tam zamanlı destek verdi. Ayrıca Koç Holding, topluluk şirketleri ve Vehbi Koç Vakfı, Umut Kent'teki sosyal donatı alanlarında yerel ve küresel sivil toplum kuruluşlarıyla birlikte çalışıyor. Umut Kentlerin ilki Hatay'da açıldı ve yaşam başladı. Kadınlar, çocuklar, gençler, yaşlılar ve engelli vatandaşlarımızın ihtiyaçlarını göz önünde bulundurarak tasarlanan Hatay Umutkent, 114.000 metrekarelik bir alana kuruldu ve 1040 konteyner konuttan oluşuyor. Geniş sosyal olanaklarla donatılan Hatay Umutkent'te psikososyal destek sunan merkezler, gençlik ve çocuk yaşam merkezleri ve ana sınıfları, okul, teknoloji tasarım atölyesi, kadın dayanışma merkezi, mutfak atölyesi, spor okulları gibi sosyal birimlerin yanı sıra tiyatro, kafeterya, sportif tesisler, ibadethane, market, kuaför ve çamaşırhane gibi ortak alanlar da yer alıyor. Koç topluluğu şirketleriyle yerel ve uluslararası sivil toplum kuruluşlarının işbirliğinde yürütülen sosyal destek birimleri ise insanların depremle sarsılan hayatlarını yeniden kurmalarına yardımcı olmak noktasında büyük önem taşıyor. 30'dan fazla sosyal destek birimi bulunan Hatay Umutkent'te sağlık, eğitim ve istihdam odaklı birçok sosyal proje hayata geçiriliyor. Bu projelerde topluluk şirketlerinin yanı sıra Koç Holding ve Vehbi Koç Vakfı da sivil toplum ve kamu kuruluşlarıyla birlikte çalışıyor. Hatay Umutkent'te çocukların eğitim ve sosyal ihtiyaçlarına yönelik olarak ana sınıfları, okul ve çocuk dostu alanlar yer alıyor. Ayrıca gençler için çeşitli motivasyon aktiviteleri, güçlenme programları, psikososyal destek, sanat ve spor atölyeleri gibi hizmetler sunuluyor. Umutkentler'de kadınlara yönelik olarak sağlık, eğitim, temel haklar ve gelir getirici beceriler geliştirme gibi konularda gerçekleştirilen çalışmalarla kadınların sosyal hayata ve üretime katılmaları da destekleniyor. Bölgede istihdamı geliştirmek amacıyla hayata geçirilen istihdam merkezi, Koç topluluğu şirketlerinin çağrı ve iletişim merkezlerine de ev sahipliği yapıyor. Umutkent'te yaşayanlar öncelikli olmak üzere bölge sakinlerinin işe alımını sağlayan merkezde topluluk şirketleri tarafından çeşitli mesleki eğitimler ve staj olanakları da sunuluyor.
Evet, burada daha çok Hatay örneği.
Yes, you saw the example of Hatay, but Kahramanmaraş and Adıyaman are places where the same opportunities have been offered. Thank you for listening. We thank all of you. We would like to thank all the speakers, the participants, and everybody who listened.